plan, a twisted little game. Jorge never saw it coming, but she knew just the same. In the darkness of the night, with a smile so sly, she whispered, "Let's play a game," and he didn't ask why. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Jorge was laughing, but his breath was thin. The walls were closing in as the fear kicked in. He called out a name, but it echoed in vain, while Sarah watched coldly, not a hint of pain. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly flame. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows. Morning came with silence, no breath to be found. Sarah unzipped the case, Jorge's last sound. She stared at the scene. What had she done? In the suitcase of love, there's no place to run. She zipped him up tight in the suitcase of love. No air, no light, just the stars above. He thought it was a joke, just a lover's embrace. Sarah, he cried in that tight, dark space. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly flame. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows. Love's a game of risk, a dangerous thing. In the suitcase of love, it's a deadly fling. Sarah's smile fades as the silence grows. In the suitcase of love, nobody knows.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with. Hey, I'm just glad you're doing it here with me on this little old channel we like to call Legal Vices. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel where the law meets life and we dissect the cases that grip the world, from the high-profile cases that dominate headlines down to these hidden little gems that you've never heard of. I'm here to break them down in ways that are engaging, enlightening, and occasionally a bit irreverent, and hopefully a little entertaining. You know, whether it's the headlines, whether it's those big important headline making courtroom dramas, shocking criminal trials, the entertaining legal battles, the things that shape your everyday lives, or just anything else that comes our way. We break down the facts, the legal twists, shocking developments, the jaw-dropping moments that you need to know. Well, are you ready to dive deep into the world of justice, crime, and controversy? Well, it's time to go. It's go time. It's game time. It's going to be a wild ride, so buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that like button, because we've got you the front row seats to the law's most gripping stories with me, the world's preeminent lawfluencer, Legal Vices. Okay, it's time. As far as I know, jury selection has just resumed in the Sarah Boone murder trial. As far as I know, it's underway. It's game on. We're going to have to see how long it takes when they do these remaining motion hearings. This week's schedule is up in the air until the judge gives a little light and guidance today. So we will We'll wait and see. But until then, it's just you and me. I've pretty much exhausted everything I have on the Sarah Boone trial, so the judge needs to get this show on the road. After today, I don't know what we're going to talk about, so I hope it happens soon. Today, we're going to be looking at all kinds of things. The original arrest affidavit for Sarah Boone, a couple of more letters that I discovered I hadn't read from her to the courtroom, and a previous incident where Sarah Boone was arrested for domestic violence. We'll look at that arrest report as well. And some other things, a few things from Court TV. But until then, we gotta do very, very quickly a little housekeeping. I just, again, want to say welcome to each and every one of you right out of the gate. We got 276 people here and 124 likes. So make sure you 150 that haven't done your job, you got one job: like and subscribe. Get down there and do that. Take care of that. Especially the subscribe button, guys. I told you, if you've been following this for the past week or so, while we've been trying to wait for the judge to get this thing going, I said that I wanted to be to 81,000 subscribers by the end of the trial. Guys, you have been so freaking supportive. I am now 35 subscribers away from 81,000, something that I wanted to accomplish 3 weeks from now. We can do it today. If you haven't subscribed, get down there and smash that subscribe button. We can get me to 81,000 today. Right there, we are at 80,965 as we speak. That's crazy. Thank you so much. And also today marks a very important milestone in the history of this channel, and it's all because of you people, all because of each and every one of you. And that milestone is we are on day 33 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam. We have unleashed it 33 days in a row. Will we get to the achievement today? Will we get to day 34 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam? It's all up to you. If we get to there, if we get to the $100 level, we'll unlock that, and then we'll go on to tier 2. But it's all in your hands. We're not grifting. We're not begging. We're not requiring the super chats or anything like that. But if you want to, go right ahead. We got gifted memberships. We've got the all the other stuff, the PayPal, the cash. I've been flagged on PayPal because there was some shenanigans. So no PayPal right now. But Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, that's all good to go. If you prefer alternative methods. But if you do that, make sure you get my attention in chat somehow. Yell in all caps, repeatedly spam the chat if that's what it takes to get my attention, because I get notifications quite late. All right. That's that. We have the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dogs waiting for you to see if they get their 15 minutes of fame today. And that banner comes down. Will it end here? Will it continue? It's entirely up to Chad. All right. We are also locked and loaded with the official Sarah Boone cocktail, the Boone Tang Suitcase cocktail, the Boone Tang Suitcase. It is, of course, Tang. Thus the Tang in Boone Tang. Sarah Boone, Tang, and vodka. That's what it is. It's the Boone Tang Suitcase. Tang, vodka, and a little bit of trial. So if you want to drink at home, find some Tang, or if it's orange juice or some sort of orange soda, just pretend. And if it's morning, think of it as a mimosa. We're good to go. And as a backup drink, Dr. Pepper. Okay. I think that's just about it. Take our like and subscribe poll, which is very, very basic today. After you've hit the like button, after you've subscribed, or double check to make sure you are still subscribed. Our like and subscribe poll is: when do you think opening statements in this trial will begin? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or never, because she's going to cop a last-minute plea deal? That's always a possibility. The previous one has been removed, as far as I understand. It's been withdrawn, but she can make another offer. The prosecution can make another offer at it to see if they can resolve it quickly. There's no guarantee this is going to trial. They could be talking a settlement agreement right now. I don't know. We just don't know. But let's see where you vote, and we'll check back in on that in just a little while. How does that sound? Maybe an hour or so we'll check in on. I don't know how long we're going to go today, because like I said, there's not a lot to go over that we haven't already gone over. So let's Let's see how it goes. I'm trying to multitask one thing here real quickly. So just bear with me a minute, chat, to talk amongst yourselves. I just have to do the one thing that that you don't have to worry about if you have already subscribed to the channel. Let's see. Where are we? There. This is me being mean. Okay, there we go. That is now officially out of the way. So let's go. Right now, 43% of you think we'll get going with opening statements on Wednesday. How awesome is that? All right. I guess to start this off, I will give a semi-detailed recap of this situation, how we got here, because there might be some of you that are not familiar with this case, that are less familiar than others with the case. So we'll give you kind of the big bird's eye view of this whole thing. And if you are extremely familiar with the case, then fill in the chat there, fill in the gaps, fill in the details. Like it's kind of a bird's eye view. So let's bring anybody that may not be familiar or too familiar with the case a little bit of speed. A little bit. No, I don't want to give you speed. That came out entirely wrong. Bring you up to speed. That's what I meant to say. Okay, the Sarah Boone suitcase murder. Let's try to unravel the disturbing case of Sarah Boone, this woman who allegedly attempted a prank that turned into a horrifying nightmare, a case that we like to call the Sarah Boone suitcase murder. It's a tragic story, involves domestic violence, complex relationships, and ultimately a very bizarre and very fatal decision. Viewer discretion is advised. Sarah Boone's name sort of became infamous around the world, or if not around the world, around the true crime community in the United States in 2020. Before that, she was relatively unknown, living a relatively quiet life in Winter Park, Florida. Boone's in her early 30s. She was in a relationship with a man named George Torres Jr. Spelled Jorge, he pronounced it George, so that's why we call him George. They'd been dating for around 3 years, and together they shared a home. Their relationship was rocky. It had been marred by reports of arguments, domestic abuse, alcohol abuse on both sides. And at times, on more than one occasion, authorities had been called to intervene in their disagreements. Now, the key part of this case takes place on the evening of February 23rd, 2020. Sarah and George had been drinking heavily, depending on which version of Sarah's story you want to believe. But according to Sarah's later statement to the police, they were playing what she described as a hide-and-seek game. Now, imagine this. Sarah claims that as part of the game, as part of this game where it's her job to not see where he goes and to count to a certain number, and for him to very quietly sneak off and go somewhere where she doesn't know where he's at. He is supposed to hide from her, and her job in hide and seek is to seek and search for where he might be hidden. So, as part of this game of hide and seek, George decided to hide in a suitcase, and Sarah helped him hide in the suitcase. Yeah, so finding this amusing, Sarah zips him up in the suitcase. It might sound ridiculous, it might sound a little bit unbelievable, but that's where things take a dark turn. After zipping him up in the suitcase, Sarah left him there for hours, allegedly accidentally going upstairs and accidentally falling asleep and forgetting that he was inside the suitcase until it was too late. But was it really just a prank gone wrong, or was there something more sinister behind it? Like, well, let's kind of take a little closer look at some of the details. The day of the incident, according to Sarah Boone's account, that night, Friday 23rd, 2020, she and George were having this fun evening, playing games, painting, listening to music, doing puzzles, and drinking. Now, at some point, they decided to take a break. Then the two engaged in what we just described as a playful game of hide and seek. George, for whatever reason, got into the suitcase. Sarah zipped him up. She claimed that after doing so, she went upstairs and fell asleep, forgetting that George was still trapped inside the suitcase. She told other versions where she left it open a little bit, saw his 2 fingers poking out, and thought he could open it. But then there's also other versions of the story where she was bashing his fingers with a baseball bat. Lots of different versions of the story. But what we do know is she woke up the next morning, February 24th, February 24th, and found George still in the suitcase, unresponsive. Well, in a panic, she calls her ex-husband to tell him what happened. He went to her house and then told her to call 911, which she did. During the 911 call, Sarah informed the dispatcher that her boyfriend had shuffled off his mortal coil and was no longer amongst the living. She said that she had only realized what had happened when she woke up, leading them to her apartment, and the investigation began. First responders arrived, pronounced George dead at the scene, but the more investigators looked into Sarah's story, the less believable it all seemed. Well, during the investigation, which is normally where this thing happens, during the investigation, the case takes a twist that's a little bit hard to ignore. As part of their investigation, the detectives got Sarah Boone's phone, and she gave them permission. She waived her rights and gave them permission to look into her phone, to access her phone. Well, what they found on the phone completely changed the course of the case. Detectives uncovered critical evidence in the form of 2 videos on Sarah Boone's phone. These videos, they were filmed the night of the incident, and they revealed that George Torres Jr. had been desperately pleading for help while trapped in the suitcase. He could be heard saying, "I can't breathe." Sarah pleading for his life while struggling to get out, pushing on the suitcase. Sarah's response? Well, shockingly, Boone could be heard in the background while filming, taunting him, making remarks like, "This is what you get for everything you've done to me. This is what you get for cheating on me. This is what it feels like when you choke me." But her voice seemed cold, absolutely chilling. It was a frightening piece of evidence that paints a much darker picture than the story she initially told the police, particularly if you watch the final few seconds of the second video, I believe it was, where he's saying, "Sarah, Sarah." She says, "F you," and then she just says, "Shh," and the video ends. The videos, they provided prosecutors with key evidence that the act was not a simple accident, but rather apparently seemingly some sort of cruel form of punishment, possibly motivated by built-up anger and resentment. George pleads for his life, and Sarah's apparent lack of concern painted a very different picture than the happy events she was describing prior to his death to the police. Now, when confronted with the evidence, Sarah's defense kind of starts to crumble a little bit. It was clear that George's death wasn't a simple accident, wasn't the result of playful behavior, even to the point where the defense has now had to admit that, and they're saying the death was the result of battered spouse syndrome, which is something we're going to talk a little bit about a little bit later. So George suffered a slow, agonizing death caused by asphyxiation. And the videos indicate that Sarah was fully and completely aware of his suffering, but chose to do absolutely nothing about it. Well, they conducted the autopsy that day or the next day, and the autopsy revealed that George Torres Jr. died of asphyxiation. It was positional asphyxiation. So his death was the result of being trapped in a suitcase, unable to breathe, in a position where air couldn't enter or exit his lungs, and there was no outside air available. The medical examiner's report also noted signs of blunt force trauma. Though they determined that those blunt force injuries themselves were not fatal. So again, it was ruled that George had died from positional asphyxiation, which occurs when a person's body position is restricting their ability to breathe and there's no external air available to them. The combination of video evidence, autopsy findings, and even Sarah's own behavior during police questioning clearly led the authorities to conclude that George's death was not an accident. And after the evidence is collected, Sarah Boone is arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Now, the charge was based on the fact that her actions were seen as showing a depraved mind. That's one of the three elements. They have to prove the person's dead. That's pretty damn easy to prove. They have to prove that the actions were were performed by someone with a depraved mind, and someone who had an utter disregard for human life. Well, during the police interrogation, Sarah continued to insist that she didn't mean to kill George, but she thought that he could get out of the suitcase on his own, as we mentioned earlier, that it wasn't intentional. But the videos again tell a different story. Negligence at best, malice at worst. Now, since her arrest in 2020, Sarah Boone's case has been delayed due to procedural issues, COVID. She went through 8 lawyers, and she's now on lawyer number 9 for a variety of reasons. Jury selection, as I just mentioned, resumes today. It should be going on right now as we speak. The defense is expected to argue that she was the victim of abuse and that her actions were justified and were the result of battered spouse syndrome, which is similar to a self-defense argument in many ways. Now, the prosecutors, on the other hand, they're likely going to argue that the videos show a depraved mind and no regard for human life, as Sarah Boone can be heard mocking George as he slowly and painfully suffocates to death in the suitcase. A few other comments here on this. The case also, it's shining a light now more than ever on the volatile nature of Sarah and George's relationship. The reports are surfacing that the couple had a history of domestic abuse, with both Sarah and George having been arrested in the past for incidents of violence against each other. It's not, but the ex-husband mentioned in the body cam that George had been arrested 4 or 5 times, and that they were in a situationship. There was problems in the relationship. But Sarah has also been arrested more than once, as I understand, for the same thing, and they both always refuse to cooperate or press charges, and they seek to get the other one out very quickly. It's clear that alcohol often fuels these confrontations that existed between Sarah and George. Now, in some ways, the case raises, I think, a lot of deeper concerns, deeper questions about toxic relationships, especially those that become physically and emotionally abusive. The cycle of violence can lead people to make irrational, harmful decisions in moments of anger, jealousy, intoxication, as we may have seen here. The case against Sarah, while rooted in the specific circumstances of the suitcase incident, it can also reflect a broader issue of what can happen when these mutual abusive dynamics tend to go unchecked. As of now, Sarah Boone remains in jail, awaiting the start of her trial. Jury selection going now. She's pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. Her defense, again, is going to argue that it was battered spouse syndrome, but the video sort of paints kind of a damning picture of that. It'll be difficult for the defense to argue that she didn't act with at least some level of disregard for George's life. And the case continues to gain and garner attention now, especially now that the jury selection's begun. Many wondering what the ultimate outcome is going to be. Will Sarah Boone be convicted of second-degree murder? Will she be convicted of a lesser included charge like manslaughter? Or will her defense be able to convince the jury that she is, in fact, the real victim in this case? Well, my conclusions of the Sarah Boone suitcase murder, it shocked the public not only because of the weird and bizarre way in which this occurred, but also because it exposed these deadly consequences of toxic, volatile relationships. Now, as the legal proceedings unfold, the case continues to garner this attention. We're just gonna have to wait to see. It's a chilling, dark, scary reminder of how quickly things can go and spiral out of control in a toxic relationship. Now, whether or not Sarah intended for George to die that night is actually kind of irrelevant, because intent, premeditation is not one of the requirements for finding someone guilty of second-degree murder. But regardless of any intention or whatnot, her actions that night sort of suggest a deep-rooted dysfunction to where she acted without any regard for human life. Now, we're going to be following the trial gavel to gavel, as I've promised, and as we've done with other cases. We're going to keep you updated on any major out-of-court developments. Now, if she's convicted, Sarah Boone faces a minimum of 22.5 years in prison and a maximum of life in prison. So that's kind of a bird's eye overview of everything from before the incident up to the incident and up to today. I think I should clip that and put that somewhere so people can just watch it. I will have to make that into a short. Now, Jules says, I think jury selection is going to take 2 days. I agree with you, Jules. The question is, what 2 days? Because the judge, as we've talked about before, seems to indicate that he wanted to reduce it down to a pool of 40 or 50 potential jurors, then send them away for a day or two. Then during the subsequent days, however long it takes, to wrap up the hearing, the out of the presence of the jury hearings on the motions that still need to be addressed. And once those issues are settled, he would call this pool of 40 to 50 jurors in, and then reach the final selection of jurors, which I have been educated by commenters and looked at it and confirmed that Florida is an interesting state. There is it's generally understood due to a Supreme Court decisions and whatnot that you don't need and are not constitutionally guaranteed a jury of 12 people for less than capital cases. Like, for example, Utah, anything that's not a first degree or death penalty case is 8 jurors. But Florida, for like a second degree murder case, it's only 6 jurors. So I think that's interesting. So they will impanel 6 jurors and a certain number, probably 3 alternates. And so after the motions finish, then they will bring back and seat the 6 jurors and alternates. Or he'll just do the whole thing, seat the jurors, say come back in a few days, which I don't think he'll do, but we'll just have to, it's entirely up to him. It's out of anybody's control except for the judge setting the schedule. But we'll let you know. But I agree that in some way, shape, or form, on 2 days this week, whether it be today and Wednesday today and Thursday today and whatever, it's going to take 2 days, I think. Catherine, who's been a member for 18 months, says, it's my birthday. I have reached level 50 of life today. I'm glad to spend it with you in chat. Birthday. I knew I had a glass around here. Let's see, what's the good stuff we've got. We have a Macallan Lumina here, so a little bit out there. Catherine, happy 50th. Welcome to the 50 Club. Cheers to you. I hope you have an amazing, wonderful birthday. And I remember when I was a young lad and my father turned 50. I remember waking up as early as possible so that I could be awake when he got awake. And I ran upstairs and I said, wow, Dad, you are half a century old. When I turned 50, that wasn't fucking funny anymore. But cheers to you, Catherine. Happy 50th. And to anybody else who may be having a birthday today, cheers to you as well. All right. Yum. Thank you very much for allowing me the privilege of wishing you a happy birthday. Bye, Franz. Member for 12 months says, happy birthday, Catherine. Cherry Reed dropping the first of the monies. The first of we're already, just with this one gifted 5 memberships, we are already 25%, 1/4 of the way to emotional support potato pig dog cam. Thank you very much, Cherry Reed. If you got one of those gifted memberships, make sure you give Cherry Reed a super special shout out and thanks. Squizgar, what's up, Squizzy? Squizgar in the house. Sarah Boone should be let go so she can start a YouTube channel reviewing luggage. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, there we go. Get the stash out of the way again. All right, we are caught up, and where do we stand right now? We are 70 away from unleashing the emotional support potato pig dogs for the 34th day in a row. All right, so now, while we look at this, I have to decide what my next option is. So many things to do. So, all right, we will go back to, now remember, this happened on February 23rd, 2020. We're going to go back to 2018. 2018. There we go. There's the 2018 form. Why are we going back to 2018? Because Sarah Boone was arrested on that day. Yeah, let's bring that up and let's talk about this. We learned some important things about not only Sarah, but what may constitute a pattern of behavior. We also learned some personal things about her as well. Some answers to questions that I've seen you people ask in chat before. Right, here is the ICJIS arrest affidavit. Now, this is for July 25th, 2018 at 4:46 a.m. She was booked. Now, look, I have always said nothing good happens after 2 o'clock in the morning. Nothing good happens after 2 o'clock in the morning. So she was booked at damn near 5 a.m. She's an adult. Now, George was 5'2", 103 pounds. There was a lot of questions. Well, is Sarah larger than him? Yes, by a long shot. She's 1 inch taller at 5'3". That's awfully hard for you guys to see. It's really small typing. How much can we embiggen this? There we go. All right, she is 5'3", but she weighs 130 pounds back in 2018. Spoiler alert, she put on about 10 more pounds before she was arrested for the murder of George Torres Jr. At that point, she weighed 140 pounds. So at the time this alleged murder happened, she outweighed him by 40 pounds. But anyway, this is back in 2018. She only outweighed him by 30 pounds. It's happened there in Florida. Ethnicity, non-Hispanic. I've never seen someone's ethnicity listed as non-Hispanic before. I would assume that it's a very, very Hispanic, heavily populated area for the official ethnicity to be non-Hispanic. That would be like in Logan, Utah. Like your ethnicity is non-white. Okay. Well, what is the description of the offense? Battery by strangulation. Dating violence. No bond. Co-defendant, George Torres. Well, this is a long paragraph. Punctuation and grammar are not necessarily important in writing this particular police report, but it does shed a little bit of light. On July 25, 2018, at 1:52 hours. Okay, so there were 8 minutes before nothing good happened. So there was still an 8-minute window where something good could have happened, but alas, it didn't. IDS Zito responded to this place, reference a male kicked a female in the eye. Well, that's not a great way to start. I later determined this to be an aggravated battery by strangulation and battery case, both being dating violence. This is a give and take case. This is a charge them all and let God sort them out case. Upon my arrival, I spoke to Sarah Catherine Boone, defendant 1, victim 2. It sounds like a score. Sarah verbally stated that she was at an unknown bar earlier in the evening when she asked an unknown male for a cigarette. Okay. Her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., defendant 2, victim 1, of 1.5 years, became upset since she was talking to another male and left the bar. They both went back to their residence located at this place and continued verbally arguing. Sarah was dragged upstairs by George, and she was kicked in her right eye using his right heel. Sarah was unable to describe how she fell to the ground or how she was dragged upstairs by George. Sarah refused medical treatment. Sarah refused to write a statement and or sign any dating violence paperwork. After I spoke to Sarah, I spoke to George. George verbally stated that they were both at their residence verbally arguing and have been consuming alcohol. There's that common denominator again. They've been dating for 1.5 years and residing together for 1.2 years. George attempted to go upstairs to avoid Sarah. Okay, now here again, we have the differing of statements. Sarah says that she was drug up the stairs by George, and he proceeded to kick her in the right eye with his right heel. But she can't really explain how she ended up on the ground or how she got dragged upstairs. She got dragged upstairs, but she can't tell you how it happened. George, on the other hand, has a different story. He says that he was going upstairs to get away from Sarah, to avoid Sarah. While George was walking upstairs, Sarah reached toward George's throat using both of her hands. Sarah placed both of her hands around George's throat and applied pressure to the extent that George was having difficult time breathing. Now remember, she outweighs George by 30 pounds and has him by an inch. So she's choking him out. Sarah, she's having difficult time breathing. Foreshadow. George was sitting on the steps and started kicking towards Sarah in an attempt to get her off of him. George believes he might have kicked Sarah in her face, but was not sure. George believed that if he did not kick Sarah off of him, she would have made him incapacitated due to being strangled. George refused medical treatment. George also refused to write a statement and or sign any dating violence paperwork. Both Sarah and George stated that they have been dating for approximately 1 year and 6 months and residing together for approximately 1 year and 2 months. Well, hang on here. Where did we go? I looked at chat and I lost my place. There we are. The left side of George's neck had red markings and small abrasions that is consistent with being strangled. Sarah's right eye is bruised and swollen from receiving an impact. Both Sarah and George allowed D.S. Ramirez Delgado to take pictures of their injuries. D.S. Ramirez Delgado later uploaded the pictures to DataWorks. Both Sarah and George received a victim's right booklet with my name and case number, along with a photo injunction referral. Due to conflicting statements and injuries on both Sarah and George, I was unable to determine who the primary aggressor was. So I placed both Sarah and George under arrest, under lawful arrest, and searched. George was placed in the back seat of my patrol car, and Sarah was placed in the back seat of D.S. Ramirez Delgado's patrol car. I informed both Sarah and George that charges were being placed against them, which they stated they understand. Due to both parties refusing to write its statements and or signing any domestic violence document, I was unable to complete a victim's request of confidentiality form, authorization for release of confidential information form, and written statements. Both parties stated they don't want to testify and or prosecute against each other. Both Sarah and George were transported to the Orange County Booking and Receiving Center. George was booked and charged for battery, dating violence, Florida statute this. Sarah was booked and charged with aggravated battery by strangulation, dating violence. Both Sarah and George stated that they do not own any firearms. Thank God for that. My body-worn camera was activated. That is the statement from 2018 in another matter. Interesting. It shows the history that these two have of lighting each other up. And gotta say, it tends to show a history of Sarah liking the strangulation thing. Orange County, Florida. They're in Orange County, Florida. Yoda, Strawberry, and Yoda. We're getting there. We're working our way slowly to the pig dogs. Where are we? Let's catch up here. Calamity Jane asked, this is when I lost my place. I was marking this. Question: can charges be added due to her comments in court about hitting him with a bag hostage situation? She already murdered him, allegedly. If they were going to add charges, they would have. They know these things. Yeah, they've got her with the harshest charges they can bring against her. And Kathy Michael, see the Potato Dogs Fund. Oh, is there an outside source of Potato Dog Fund? I guess I should. All right, I'm gonna play the intermission music here real quickly while I realize my other phone is in the other room. So let's play the intermission music, and let's have a race to see if I can get back before the intermission music concludes, shall we? But thank you very much for that, Kathy Michael. I will add that to the fund and then go check the other funds. Where is the intermission thingamajig? There it is. I'll be right back. 21 seconds, maybe.
This is a brief intermission.
You're very much appreciated for saying that I'm appreciated. I appreciate that.
This is a brief intermission.
Thank you very, very much. I'm going to have a search and or seizure. More likely the seizure. I appreciate you.
This is a brief intermission.
I appreciate you. Oh, perfect timing. Me. Aren't I awesome? All right, I am back. So I'm not sure if that meant check the other source of emotional support potato pig dog fund, or if it was just a question, a suggestion to remind up. It appears that nothing has come in on either of the outside sources. So we are with the 6 that came in. Stephanie's just dropped $5, a $5 super sticker. Where'd you go, Stephanie? Where'd you go? Boom, Stephanie with a $5 super sticker. It's a dude in a hat saying incredible. Thanks. All right, now I got to do lawyer math. I really need something to do this for me. 25, 35. Okay, we are 60 away. 60 away from the emotional support potato pig dogs. All right, cool. I did. I made it back without breaking my hip. Thank you very much, AT1. All right. That was the first of the documents we wanted to get through. Oh, thank you very much. Well, it's like 8 steps to my bed, so I can grab my other phone. Oh, wait a minute, we do have an announcement here, do we? Or is that just nope? Stupid thing. All right, false alarm, but I'm back. What have we got here? Sorry to do this on the fly. Great. All set. Uh-oh. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, dropping the heat. Thank you so much. And if you happen to be Irish Rover, Robert Lawrence, Gina S., Calamity Jane, Pastor Flash, make sure you give Hey Joe a super special thanks because you just got a Hey Joe Legal Vices gifted membership. Thank you so much. Hey Joe, for spreading the love and helping remove the gray from chat. Everybody deserves colors. Everybody deserves colors. And speaking of people, we've got 583 people here in chat, folks. 583 and 326 likes. Literally more than 250 of you haven't done your job. Get down there and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Right now, we are 21 subscribers away from 81,000 subscribers. 21 away. I'm gonna bring up a live scroll here for I can't put it on the screen here, but I'm gonna bring up a live scroller on my screen so that I can watch the numbers go up in real time, and we can have a little bit of a celebration if we hit 81,000 while I'm doing this. So let's see here. Let me do this again real quick. Wasn't planning on this, but you guys surprised the hell out of me with your super awesome, amazing generosity. Content. We've got to wait. Where's my dashboard? Channel analytics. Right, there's the analytics. We got the analytics button up here. Now I've got the real time. See live. All right, we are at 80,980. We need 20 more subscribers to get us to 81,000. Oh, cool. All right. Now I'll just keep an eye on that as we go. 19. Amber. Member. I saw Alicia. I saw the A in Alicia and then member came out. Amber. Alicia G, who's been a member for 11 months. Thank you so much for the long-term support of the Clean and Sober crew. Always happy to be part of the Vice Squad. You know what? The Vice Squad is the greatest chat on the entire internet. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the Extendo support. And Matilda, all the way from the Netherlands, with the €2 and a super sticker. It appears, it's a old Nintendo 64 controller. All right. Thank you very, very much. Good evening from Korea, Netherlands. All right. That's it. That's I think that's the midstream grift. As long as we're doing the midstream grift, let's check on our like and subscribe poll. When you think the opening statements are going to begin? 12% of you say never. She's going to take a plea deal. 13% of you think Friday. 32% of you say Thursday. And 43% of you say Wednesday. I'm leaning towards Thursday or Friday myself. We'll just have to see. Nobody knows until the judge tells us, until the judge gives us the further light and knowledge we require. But we are about 25 away from emotional support potato pig dogs. It's about where we are. All right. Cool. Well, is there? Nope. We got it all. All right. We got it all. Let's move on to the second thing. I just have to decide what that second thing is going to be. I think as long as we're reading arrest reports, maybe we should look at her current arrest report. The arrest report, the arrest affidavit for the murder of George Torres Jr. And I do have to apologize for these reading heavy days. I don't get to spend as much time focusing on chat as normally for showing videos or actually watching a trial because I'm focused on the reading and doing things. And also, I should have made this announcement at the beginning because there's a lot of new people here. There's a lot of, this is like their first time interacting with me. It's their first time seeing me. They're not used to me, not used to my style, and not used to the fact that this is in fact a commentary channel where we provide commentary on the legal issues and cases and things we cover. We cover them, plus we give our own commentary. We share our ideas. I give you my interpretations. We try to do it with a little bit of edginess, I guess, a little bit of humor. It's that dark professional humor that doctors, lawyers, first responders, people like that have, to where you deal with such icky stuff all day, every day. You kind of develop a weird, dark sense of humor that doesn't sit right with all people. I know I've seen the comments. I know some people have been offended and upset by the humor and levity I'm attempting to inject into this case. The only thing I can really say is thank God you didn't see our coverage of the Taylor Shabusiness trial. Thank heavens you didn't see that, but we did get a few comments from people that weren't familiar with this. And if this isn't your cup of tea, I understand. I completely understand. I completely appreciate it. I don't want to force people to stick around if this isn't what they like, this isn't what they want. But if this is your style of program and you want to hang around, I would love to have you. For example, Mary Graph 5855 says, "Oh God, too boring. Want to hear about Sarah, not dogs or whatever else you're talking. Bye." Alley Cat 8270 says, "Sorry, but I can't subscribe due to your forever long narrative about nothingness before the real testimony. Bye." And then someone also complained that they couldn't subscribe because of the snickering and giggling whilst we were attempting to fumble our way through the autopsy report. I was told autopsy reports should be read with solemnity and seriousness and respect. And what if that was my husband, friend, brother, whatever? Okay, so I did say that, having the after you've been killed and the medical examiner looks at your genitalia and describes them as unremarkable, that would make me a sad ghost or something like that. But come on. We do what we do here, and I just wanted to share that with you. So, we're a good group of people. Thank you for being here, all 587 of you. Tell your friends about us too. Share the videos, tell your friends, invite them along to the party. That's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna stop being me. Okay. Oh, look at me. I just found an unredacted. I had a very, very heavily redacted copy of her 2020 arrest. Now I've got an unredacted version of it. That makes me happy. But what do we got here? Torgo the White. How are you doing? I've not seen Torgo the White for a minute. Torgo the White, member for 13 minutes, says, "Suffer, Normie. No humor trial watchers suffer." Thank you very much. Suffer, Normie. All right. Yeah. I'm sure you'll all struggle through somehow. All right. We are going to move on now to the next screen, which is the 2020 arrest. I need to bring this up right here. Is this it? This is it. It's oddly in a Word document format. All right. This was filed. The document was dated 2/25/2020. And it's really difficult to read. Again, it's just one run-on paragraph sentence. It's a really, really bad scan of a document that has been pasted into a Word file. So it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest copy. Jeff K, member for 8 months, says, "I'm not sure I can stay subscribed because F that. I like it here." Well, we like to have you here too. Thank you so much, Jeff K, for being a member of the elite Bent Halos and Broken Wings crew for 8 months. All right. Sarah, let's get on with Sarah's arrest record. Her arrest affidavit. Oof. Narrative. Okay, this was 23rd of February at 23:12. So it's 11:12 p.m. Background. I gotta scroll this down a little bit. I'm trying to hide the stupid address up there at the top. Oh well. Let's just really quickly say background. On February 24th, 2020 at 13:01 hours, that's 1:01, Orange County deputies responded to this address in reference to a female reporting that her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., was deceased. The caller, later identified as Sarah Boone, date of birth 10/10/1977. Yes, we had a little birthday party for her a week ago today. We had a little birthday cake for her. Reported playing a game of hide and seek. Hello, 911. We were playing hide and seek and he died. Sarah and George jokingly thought it would be funny if George got in the suitcase. Located in the living room, Sarah zipped George in the suitcase. Sarah mentioned that she and George had been consuming alcohol during the night, and she went upstairs and passed out in her bed. She later woke up to her cell phone ringing multiple times around 11 a.m. Oh boy, that story changed. 11 went to 11:30, then it went to 12:30, then it went to 12. She woke up at a lot of different hours that day. She went downstairs and did not see George anywhere in the apartment. She then realized that he was probably still inside the suitcase. Now, see, we've already seen her deal. So she woke up at 11, went downstairs, and saw him in the suitcase. And what prompted the first change, which happened within minutes of the police arriving, was her saying that she woke up around 11 o'clock, went down, and then she performed CPR on him until the police, or she made the 911 call and performed CPR until the police arrived, until the first responders arrived. And the lady there says, it's like after 1 o'clock. What were you doing for 2 hours? Oh no, I was awake, but I didn't go down until like 12:30. So instantly her story changed. She went downstairs and did not see George anywhere in the apartment. She then realized that he was possibly still inside the suitcase. God, that sucks. That's just icky and horrible. And that's a professional legal word, icky. It's just icky. What an unpleasant person. All right. So she went downstairs, still possibly inside the suitcase. Sarah unzipped the suitcase and found George unresponsive and not breathing. Shortly after the 911 call, deputies arrived on scene. Orange County Fire Department confirmed that George was in fact deceased at 13:07. So good for them. They got there in 6 minutes. The decedent was found lying near the front door of the residence near a blue suitcase. A small laceration was evident on the decedent's lip and what appeared to be some bruising around his eye. Interview, Sarah Boone. On February 24, 2020, Detective Scott Lowen and I conducted an audio recorded interview with Sarah Boone. Located in my unmarked agency vehicle outside her residence, the following is a synopsis of Sarah Boone's sworn recorded statement. Now, this is one that we haven't seen. We haven't seen. I'm sorry. I was laughing because Yoda is laying in Strawberry's bed and Strawberry's getting upset. All right. I'll push pause here because this is just too dang cute. We have reached the unleashing of the emotional support potato pig dogs, more or less. Jeff K, I'm not sure how we already did yours. Lone Star Living, I need the doggo and BS to go with Sarah. I also share this with my family. Heart. Thank you so much for the $5. And Stephanie just dropping the $20 super sticker, which is a lemon being happy, which that gets us to the part of the show that we like to call, of course, the time of
release the hose.
And that leads us to Yoda, who is in Strawberry's bed, and Strawberry is annoyed. Strawberry's whining because the prime bed space is taken up by Yoda. All right. I just wanted to get that. I did not want to delay that. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting us to day 34 of the Emotional Support Potato Pig Dog Cam. I will take this off right now, and then we will get back into this. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt it, but I just felt like we had to. All right. So now everybody's going to unsubscribe again. Okay. So this is the part of the interview we didn't see. We saw the body cam footage on scene. We saw the interrogation video in the sheriff's office, and they kept making reference to this time that the officer sat her down in the police car and conducted another interrogation where she'd also been read her rights. So this is the synopsis of what they talked about in the car. Where are we at here? I read verbatim to Sarah her constitutional Miranda warnings. Sarah agreed she understood and what I had just read to her. On February 23rd, 2020, at approximately 1600 hours, Sarah was located at her residence along with her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., who also resides at the apartment. Only Sarah and George were located at the residence. She was very adamant about that. There was nobody else there, so you can't blame it on somebody else. You can't blame it on the boogeyman. You can't blame it on the one-armed man if nobody's there. So she's kind of, not that she really had a good exculpatory situation anyway, but she's just totally eliminated any other possible suspect. There's only 2 people in the house. One of them ends up dead. It's your purview of possible suspects is rather narrow at that point. All right, Straub, you have a toy. Dang it! I'm entertaining people. There, go chew on that. There, sorry about that. Only Sarah and George were located at the residence. Sarah's son, Lucas Boone, would sometimes be at her residence when it was her days, per the custody agreement she had with her ex-husband. Sarah said her and George, George and she, were painting pictures and completing a puzzle while sharing a bottle of Woodbridge Chardonnay wine. Now, I haven't checked this. I'm not a wine drinker, so I don't know, but we've all been talking about a bottle of wine or 2 that they shared. I don't know if this is fact because I have not checked it myself, but I was told that Woodbridge Chardonnay wine only comes in 1.75 liter bottles. Shall we see? Woodbridge Chardonnay wine. No. 1.5. Oh, it does come in 750 milliliter. It also comes in 1.5 liter. So I don't know which they had. All right, the information I was provided was false. It comes in 1.5 liters and 750 milliliter bottles. As the evening went on, Sarah said her and George, damn it, I hate that grammar. Sarah said she and George decided to play a game called hide and seek. Sarah hid upstairs in the shower first and said George never came to look for her. That's funny. After a while, she decided to go downstairs where she found George. Sarah and George both thought it would be funny if she zipped George in the big blue suitcase that was located downstairs in the living room area. See, we still haven't got this connection. How are they playing hide and seek? She hides, he doesn't seek. Then when it comes his turn, she says, hide in here. And he's like, okay, I don't understand this game, which kind of leads me to believe the story of hide and seek is complete and utter bullshit. Personal opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Well, there was a few miscellaneous items they had planned to donate. George willingly got into the suitcase, and Sarah zipped the suitcase up, but 2 of George's fingers were able to stick out of the suitcase. Sarah and George were both laughing that she zipped him into a suitcase. Sarah explained the attached handle that made it easier to zip the suitcase was broken, but a paper clip was in the zipper, and she was able to zip up the suitcase. Okay. I don't know how it being fixed by the pull tab being a paper clip made it easier for him to get out. But anyway, that's what she argued. Sarah decided she was going to go upstairs while George was still located in the suitcase. Oh, this was at approximately 12:30 a.m. She decided to go upstairs while George was still located in the suitcase, thinking he could get himself out. Sarah laid down in her bed and fell asleep approximately 20 to 30 minutes after going upstairs. Sarah assumed George was going to get out of the suitcase and come to bed as well. Well, again, it's okay. I think I'm just going to go up here and lay down and I'll fall asleep. That goes against what was said before at this most recent hearing, at the second to most recent hearing, when it was like, oh, she was afraid that if he got out of the suitcase, he would kill her because she had left him in there. So she was scared for her life. But now she's like, I just assumed he'd get out, so I'm going to go to sleep. Contradictory statements. They're going to come back to bite her in the ass. Mark my words. So she assumed he was going to get out of the suitcase and come to bed as well. Sarah said neither her nor George were drunk from the wine. I would say the audio proves otherwise. And again, she claims to have been still drunk with a little bit of a hangover when the police arrived at 1 p.m. the following day. So she's essentially saying that whatever they drank, this half a bottle of wine between them, ended up getting her drunk for 13 hours. Gonna be difficult to explain that too. Sarah woke up in the morning and heard her cell phone ring multiple times, but ignored the calls. Sarah said her cell phone was left downstairs from the night prior. Sarah knew her ex-husband, Brian Boone, was calling because he was the only person who called her repeatedly to see if she was getting their son, Lucas Boone, from school. Sarah said she stayed upstairs for a while and assumed George was downstairs on the laptop looking for employment. Sarah said she went down at approximately 11 o'clock and realized she could not... Okay, so now she went down anyway and realized she could not find George anywhere in the apartment. Sarah freaked out and remembered the last time she saw George when she zipped him in the suitcase. Sarah unzipped the suitcase and found George unresponsive. Sarah called Brian back, told him George was dead, and begged him to come to her residence. Brian only resides a few minutes away. When Brian got to the residence, he walked into the apartment, saw George unresponsive on the floor, and told Sarah she needed to call 911. Brian then immediately walked outside and stayed there until law enforcement arrived, while Sarah followed the instructions from the 911 operator. Sarah Boone's iPhone XS. On February 24th, 2020, Sarah gave verbal and written consent by signing a waivers and affidavits form for the Orange County Sheriff's Office to search her iPhone XS. Here's her number. Digital forensic investigator Junella Uadon, can't read that, it's kind of fuzzy, responded to the scene and began to download the cell phone. While the cell phone was being downloaded, 2 videos were found on the cell phone. The 2 videos were found on the cell phone. The first video began recording on February 24th at 23:12 hours. George repeatedly yelling out Sarah's name. Sarah told George, "For everything you've done to me, fuck you." Sarah was laughing when she said, "Fuck you, stupid." George repeatedly kept calling out Sarah's name. George said, "I can't fucking breathe. Seriously." Sarah replied, "Yeah, that's what you do when you choke me." George continued to repeat himself, telling Sarah that he could not breathe. Sarah replied, "That's on you. Oh, that's what I feel like when you cheat on me." Sarah also said, "You should probably shut the fuck up." Shh. Okay, so that was the first video. Okay, that was the first video? No, that was okay. That was the second video. Yeah, okay. Okay, they're confused. So the second, what they call the first video is at 11:12. What they call the second video, oh, they didn't put the timestamp. All right, so it's still a mystery. It's still a mystery because they don't have the timestamp. The second video began recording on February 20. Okay, well, their dates are all effed up. This should be February 23rd, 2020. And I guess the second one should be February 24th, 2020. Cops aren't really great at their police reports. And this is how things go wrong when cops can't spell check, they can't grammar check, they can't fact check, they can't detail check to make sure things say February 23rd when they should say February 23rd. Just a little side aggravation there. The second video began recording on February 24, 2020 hours. That doesn't make any sense. George yelled, "Get out." George yelled out Sarah's name. Oh, sorry. In this video, the suitcase was facing downward, and you can see George pushing on the suitcase in an attempt to get out. This video is 2 minutes and 3 seconds long. The second video began recording on February 24, 2020 hours. Doesn't make sense. George yelled out Sarah's name. The suitcase was now in a different position, facing upwards, and moved over towards the left side of the living room. The video was 22 seconds long. Synopsis of George Torres Jr.'s autopsy. On February 25, 2020, George Torres Jr. received an autopsy located at the medical examiner's office. During the autopsy, it was noted that George had injuries. George had long nail scratches to his mid-upper back, a large nail scratch to the back of his neck, contusions to his left shoulder, left skull and forehead contusions considered blunt force trauma, and a cut near his busted lip. A cut near his busted lip. That means two cuts there. Follow-up interview with Sarah Boone on February 25, 2020 at approximately 15 hours. That's the sheriff's office video that we've already watched. Sarah drove herself to the Orange County Sheriff's Office located at this address. Scott Lone and I proceeded and conducted an audio and video recorded interview with Sarah. The following is a synopsis of Sarah Boone's sworn recorded statement. I read verbatim to Sarah her constitutional Miranda warnings. Sarah agreed she understood what I had just read to her. After informing Sarah about the injuries to George's body, she continued to deny any physical altercation occurred between the two of them. Sarah was shown the approximate 2-minute video that she recorded on her cell phone. Not even halfway through, Sarah no longer wished to watch the video. Sarah said she did not remember making the 2 videos. Sarah said the videos looked bad. Yeah, you could say that. You could say the videos looked less than ideal if you happen to be Sarah. Sarah denied intentionally leaving George in the suitcase. Sarah was asked why she intentionally went upstairs and waited for George to come upstairs and did not check on him or let him out prior to going upstairs. Sarah replied, I don't know. Sarah contradicted her original statement and began to blame the consumption of alcohol. Sarah was informed that she was not free to leave and under arrest. Deputy Sheriff Lisa DeLeon responded to Central Operations to transport Sarah Boone to BRC. Based off Sarah's inconsistent statements on what occurred and the videos found on Sarah's iPhone, I believe probable cause exists to charge Sarah Boone with second-degree murder. George Torres Jr. is dead, and his death was caused by Sarah Boone's criminal act. Sarah zipped George in the suitcase to where he could not get out. George begged Sarah repeatedly, telling her he could not breathe, and Sarah left him in the suitcase. Therefore proves the unlawful killing of George by Sarah's actions that were imminently dangerous and demonstrated a depraved mind without regard for George's life. And that is the arrest document that started it all. And we've got, oh, wait, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Yoda's off snoring and dreaming happily. And Strawberry is now under the desk. All right, a membership update, a subscriber update. We currently have 80,984 subscribers. We need just 16 more subscribers to get us to 81,000. 81,000 subscribers. We got 672 people here right now. And 16 of you, if you just subscribe, will get to 81,000 subscribers. Will you be the one responsible? Will you be the one that can take the glory for getting us to 81,000? Only you know the answer to that question. All right, let's take a look, catch up here on some of the super chats. And by that I mean none, because we are holding steady. So, all right, that's 16. Come on, chat. Right, so close. Oh, little tongue. Yep. Oh, good morning, Strawberry. I can only subscribe so hard, chat. Yes, just make sure you hit the subscribe button an odd number of times. No, because I don't want to unsub. Ha ha ha. Don't do that. All right. Oh, we're 14 away now, and I have a mosquito. It's the end of October. How is there a mosquito in here? All right. Anyway, that was the original arrest document for this case. Now, this is an interesting thing. We need a taste test of Woodbridge Chardonnay, Jeff. I will be making a Costco trip later. I don't recall ever having a scene, but I'm not like a wine person. But I will look and see if there's such a thing as Woodbridge here in Korea Costco. If there is, damn straight I'll get it. All right. Well, we do have one interesting thing to talk about now. This is what's called a Brady list. Now, we've talked about it a lot before, and Brady became a central issue in the Alec Baldwin trial. It's a central issue in a lot of cases. The prosecution has an affirmative duty to turn over all documents that not only support their position that the defendant is guilty, but also documents and information, evidence that shows that's potentially exculpatory, that potentially shows that the defendant is innocent or did not commit the crimes. If you're a prosecutor and you find something that is negative to your case, you have to turn that over to the defense anyway. Additionally, if you have a witness that is potentially impeachable, if you have like a witness with a criminal record that can be impeached with that criminal record, you have a duty of informing the defense. And in this case, the state has a Brady list. And again, that's a list of a witness who can potentially be impeached by their previous actions. Well, who might that be? Well, let's bring up the document and I'll show you. If you can get it, use red solo cups. Deal. Because actually, that's why I'm going to Costco, because I'm all out of red solo cups and I'm going camping this weekend. And you're required by law to have red solo cups if you go camping. Oh, what have I done? All right, here we go. Right. This is notice of placement of a state witness on the state's Brady list. The state hereby gives notice. So this is the state telling the defense. This is the state. This is the state telling the defense we have a witness who is a potential problem and could potentially be impeached. Well, we can see who that is here. Pursuant to Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure and pursuant to Brady v. Maryland, that the individual who is listed below has been placed on the state's Brady list, to wit, Chelsea Copsell of the Orange County Sheriff's Office. She was the one who interrogated Sarah Boone. She was the one that was pregnant in the body cam footage, and well, not the body cam footage. She was there. She appeared briefly in the body cam footage, but in the sheriff's office video, she is on the state's Brady list of potentially impeachable witnesses. Well, for additional information or to arrange for inspection of related documents, please contact undersigned Assistant State Attorney. So why is she on the state's Brady list? Well, Chelsea Copsell was apparently on there from what I could gather. She was in a case that was, I believe, 2021, maybe 2022. She was accused of falsifying some pertinent information in a report. But so because of that could call into question her integrity. That could be potentially impeachable information. So that's why they put her on this list. But there was an internal investigation conducted into this other case where she was alleged to have falsified a report, and she was completely exonerated of any wrongdoing in that report. So I'm thinking that out of an abundance of caution, she was put on this list. So do I think it's going to have an impact on this? No, because there's no allegations of any wrongdoing in this case. There's no connection between this and the other case, and she was completely exonerated of any wrongdoing in the other case. So again, I think it was just out of an abundance of caution. She was put on there so that it didn't raise the question of why wasn't she put on there. So I thought that was an interesting thing that came up. All right, well, we've got a couple of more things here. Don't know what order to do these in. Potential witness list. Let's do the potential witness list next, shall we? But before we do, we've lost a dog. Yoda has shifted over to here. That's kind of what Yoda does. Yoda shifts from bed to bed pretty much 23 hours and 45 minutes every day. Right. We have a couple of things here to clear off. Let's do that before I want to show a potential witness list. We'll look at a couple of videos and read some more letters. We'll read the letters, and if we have time, we'll look at the videos. And we are 11 subscribers away. 11 subscribers away from 81,000. That is so freaking awesome. You guys are way cool. I love the Vice Squad. If you're here, if you're one of the 705 people here, you are by default a member of the Vice Squad, and by default, you freaking rock. Thank you so much for everything. 11 subscribers away from 81,000. King Ginger, what are you doing, King Ginger? 333 member for 16 months. It's been a good 16 months, but I need to save as much money for an engagement ring as possible. Woo woo. I'll become a member again eventually, I promise. Hey, this is your deal. This is your option. I can only graciously and gratefully receive whatever comes my way. If you can't afford it, don't do it. And engagement rings are an important thing. And if you hang around and you're lucky enough, you could get a gifted membership, because people sling gifted memberships around here like they're going out of style. And speaking of going out of style, looks like 80,000 is going out of style. We are 9 away from 81,000. And Mavia says, gonna unsub now and resub when you're 1 away. Stop that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't torture me like that. Okay. The potential witness list. Right. How can we do this? Bring this up here. This is prepared on an Excel sheet, and I am the world's worst at Excel, so I could completely destroy this witness list forever. All right, let's close down this window here. These are the people that have been identified as possible witnesses in this instance. Let me scooch this on over. Potential state witnesses. Deputy Lisa De Leon. She was the one that took Sarah Boone into custody in the police station. John A. Martinez, law enforcement deputy. Not sure which one he was. Kayla Rodriguez, deputy. Don't know. She's law enforcement, obviously, but don't know what her involvement was. Deputy Nathaniel A. Taylor, law enforcement. The neighbor, Vince the neighbor. Vince is the guy that way back a year or two ago, we listened to an interview with him saying that he lives right next door. They share a wall, and it sounded like someone rolled something heavy down the stairs in the middle of the night. Vinny Battaglia is going to be a witness. He's the neighbor. That should be an interesting witness. He's the one I want to hear testify to. Brian Boone, the ex-husband, is on the witness list. He inserted himself into the case accidentally by going over there and seeing a dead body. And as he said in the body cam footage we saw of the initial response by the officers, he says, I walked in, I saw legs and went, peace out. And I stepped outside, didn't want to be involved, and told her to call 911. To be Flair says, legal vices. Have you seen online discussions questioning if Sarah was truly given CPR and chest compression when she was on the phone with 911? Why would she need to go get it if she was? I don't think she was. There's nothing to indicate otherwise. And Diane has just dropped 5 Legal Vices memberships. Diane, if you happen to be Tracy Reed. Uh-oh, my chat has stalled. Why is chat stalled? Okay, there it goes. Tracy Reed, great success. Allie Riddle, dinner and a movie with Sarah with Santino Domani, and Bernadette loves pie. Who was gifted a membership? You were all gifted memberships. Oh my Lord, there's more where that came from. Diane has also herself joined the Clean and Sober crew. Boom. Thank you so much for that. Make sure I'm giving you the right button. Okay. you get the ship's bell for that awesome, incredibly generous donation. Thank you so much for sharing the love with other members and helping us to remove the gray. I have to cough now. Excuse me, please. I'm back. Wow. So, okay. Make sure if you're one of those people, you give Diana a super special thank you for being that awesome. We are now 8 away from 81,000. I'm excited. We can get 8 more subscribers before this show is over. I know we can. All right. Back to the witness list. Vinny the neighbor, Brian Boone, the ex-husband, Devin Jamro. I have no idea who that is. And nor does the person that created this list. Brandon, I believe, is Vinny's roommate. Brandon Motes. So I believe Vinny and Brandon are roommates, if I remember correctly. Abram Moreno is a neighbor and friend. Shanice L. Robinson. We don't know who she is. CSI Melissa Roughgarden, evidence collection. I believe that CSI Melissa Roughgarden was the one that came into the sheriff's office interrogation room and cleaned underneath Sarah's fingernails, looking for DNA stuff. I could be wrong. Melissa Sexton, property manager. That's the manager of the property where the house is located, where Sarah's house is located. Deputy Chelsea E. Copsell, who is Brady listed, as we just talked about, is the lead detective. See what I did there, like lead attorney. That's funny. Detective Scott A. Lowen, who is also it's Scott Lowen, he of the fuchsia satin shirt. And for the first day of the trial, I will wear my fuchsia satin shirt on the first day of trial and the day that Detective Lowen testifies. And Dr. Tanya Werner, she conducted the autopsy, I believe. Oh no, wait, yes, she's a forensic psychologist. She will testify that Sarah Boone knew what she was doing, I guess. Juan Torres, the victim's brother, will testify. The whole family is testifying. George Torres Sr., Blanca Iris Torres, the mother, Moises Torres, his other brother, Maricel Torres, his sister-in-law, perhaps. Dr. Sarah H. Zidowich, she's the medical examiner. She's the one that performed the autopsy. And Diane Johnson Carwise, the community corrections officer. So there could be more. These people might not all testify, but we've kind of tentatively identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, why don't you just count the numbers, huh? 24, 22 witnesses for the prosecution. Tentatively identified 22 witnesses for the prosecution. Now for the defense's case. Much shorter list, not surprisingly. Not surprisingly, the defense list is much shorter than the prosecution's list. J.D. Thomas, the Forensic Consultant Services Crime Scene Forensics. John Sawicki, the electronics expert. Julie Harper, the forensic psychologist. She's the one that's going to testify, I believe, to the battered spouse syndrome. How Sarah was suffering from battered spouse syndrome, and what she did was justified under that particular malady. Dr. Edward Willey, a forensic pathologist. Prison break investigation, the private investigator. Dr. Charles Heller, a domestic violence psychologist. Dr. Michael Brannon, clinical psychologist. One of these two, Michael Brannon or Michael Birkland, one of them I don't think is on the case anymore. Crime scene reconstructionist. I think it was Dr. Brannon, but I may be misremembering. I misremember things occasionally. But this is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 witnesses, and I would add Sarah Boone to that list. Normally, again, the general rule of thumb is do not testify at your own trial. Exercise that right to keep your damn mouth shut. But in Sarah's case, she, the way I see it, absolutely has to take the stand. If she has even the slightest remotely possible chance, in order to give her even that whisper, even that hint of a chance, she has to take the stand. But I also know that if she does take the stand, she's probably going to do more damage than good. But she has to. She has to explain. She has to come up with. She has to testify to how horrifically she was battered and abused during their time together. And I don't see how she does not testify. No character witnesses or friends for the defense. Well, you don't really get to have character witnesses so much for during the trial part. Dang, it's going to be. They have, like the judge said, they'd originally planned on 2 weeks. They scheduled for 3 weeks, but they've already burned through one of those weeks. So I'm guessing 2 weeks, and that seems like 2 weeks seems a pretty good amount of time for the witnesses they have. JKD Buck says she testifies, I'll guarantee it. Oh, she has to. Absolutely has to. Sarah has no friends or anyone testifying. Just the people that can testify to the facts. Seems like anyone else that could testify to the circumstances surrounding the relationship, they're all testifying for the prosecution, it looks like. So, not good. Not good. Sarah Boone won't like abiding by rules. Just wait. Well, she's probably smart enough to keep her face shut and to let her lawyer do the talking, I would guess. Well, that raises the next question. We've got 693 people here. Let's look at the current state of the like and subscribe poll. Hit that like button. We currently have 536 likes, just 64 more likes to get us to 600, and only 7, just a mere 7, 1/100th of the number of people. If 1 in 100 of you hit that subscribe button, we will get to 81,000. We are 7 subscribers away from 81,000. Come on. Succumb to the pressure. Succumb to the peer pressure. I don't beg for super chats, but I'm not above begging for subscriptions. Come on, get us to 81,000. That puts us 19,000 away from a pretty little silver play button. Did we miss a day on the doggo cam? No, we are on day 34. We reached day 34. Today is day 34 of the emotional support potato pig dog cam. We have not missed a day. We are keeping the streak alive. Alabama Rose, who's been a member for 25 months. Rose, over 2 years. Time flies. Hit the like, subscribe, tap the bell, become a member. Here's the link. Bye, y'all. Alabama Rose, thank you so much, Rose. Deeply appreciate the support for more than 2 years. Oh, time flies. Okay, well, the next thing I have locked and loaded and ready to go, get out of here, Excel sheet, is letters from Sarah. I missed these letters from Sarah. I didn't catch them before. But I do have an issue. I need to put us on intermission here for just a couple of seconds while I run really quickly down the hall and back. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Just give me a few seconds. I shall be right back. Did you miss me? Oh, hi, Strawberry. How you doing?
What's up, Strawberry?
All right. She was mugging for the camera, but you couldn't see her. I have brief intermission music. It only lasts 21 seconds. I should have put it on the loop or something, but anyway. I just had to take care of a little business if I was to read through these Sarah Boone letters with any degree of comfort whatsoever. All right, here we go. Again, these are two two letters that I had not seen before. I have not read them. I just realized that I discovered them today. I have no idea what they say other than the first paragraph of the first one, which just made me laugh because it's so Sarah. Now, I've also seen a channel where it was the other day, a guy somehow got a hold of and read a letter that Sarah had written from jail in her divorce proceedings, or not her in some other proceedings, but that letter read in talking about her ex-husband. It read exactly like everything she has written in this case. The same words, the same descriptions, the same things. It was so Sarah. I tried to find my own copy of the letters to read it, but her divorce case has been sealed. Her divorce case has been sealed. So alas, I cannot access those documents. Sigh. But that was an interesting letter. I can't even remember who the guy was that did it. Otherwise, I'd tell you to go there. But I guess if you search like a Sarah Boone divorce letter, I'm sure it would come up. It was really, really weird and kind of a little bit spooky to see. She treats everybody the same. She's an equal opportunity Sarah. All right. Letters. Here we go. Why? Island with the $2. That's why is Strawberry such a perfect princess? I can't. You'd like to think that, wouldn't you? She kept me awake all night. I literally got 3 hours of sleep because she was being too much of a princess and insisting on sleeping on the bed, and she just wouldn't stop. And I'll put it up on Twitter. I have this picture of like 2:20 in the morning, her just laying on my head. But anyway, thank you so much, Island, for this super chat. Appreciated that. Let's see. We're 4 people away from 81,000. How cool is that? All right, you got to embiggen this a little bit. Got to make sure we can read Sarah's madness, her descent into madness. Let's see. Oh, I have to just send one quick messages. All right, I'm back. Referred to Judge Wayne C. Wooten, attorney Frank J. Bankowitz, and the whole wide world. Oh my God, I'm going to miss Sarah when she goes away for the rest of her life, or at least 40 years. And we are no longer, well, the fact she has a lawyer also has put a kibosh on these. We haven't had any good handwritten letters since she started paying attention to her lawyer. But any lawyer that starts out, Dear Judge Wayne C. Wooten, attorney Frank J. Bankowitz, and the whole wide world is so Sarah. so Sarah. Oh, Sarah Boone. No, this letter is from May 15th of 2023. So this is like a year and a half ago. So I just discovered this email today. This letter today. So we're covering it. But yeah, she's back to being Sarah. Oh, we miss you, Rose. Glad to see you. All right. Perspective. Oh, this makes me so happy. She goes full Sarah. She starts, as she's done so many times, with a dictionary definition. She addresses her letter to the whole wide world and starts the perspective. Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I wonder how many people are going to actually look up the definition to see if it's the same. I wonder also how many website hits the word perspective will get. Yeah, sorry, the word perspective is not going to be trending just because you wrote it in a letter to the judge, Sarah. Young black economist, the blue-eyed white demon bellows fire on all in the town below. No respecters of persons. She's like Smaug running through was it Bardstown? Yeah, she's breathing the fire. The white devils. All right. Oh, hell. Yeah, she's like, I wonder if the word perspective will go trending on the internet because I wrote the word on a letter. Yuck. Definition 1. The science of painting or drawing so that objects represented have apparent depth and distance. I don't think that has anything to do with you. 2, the aspect in which a subject or its parts are mentally viewed, a view of things as objects or events in their true relationship or relative importance. Please review so everyone has a clearer, better understanding of my continued concerns, hindrances. Oh God. Oh, I missed Sarah's letter. I am so happy I discovered this shit. I love it. I am so happy. She throws out these dictionary definitions. Then she goes to the thesaurus and she downloads all of this data from her thesaurus into her letters. And she just, the 800 and different ways of saying the same thing. Oh, I've missed it. I feel refreshed. My continued concerns, hindrances, questions, and frustrations with the justice system and the solid, absolute remissness cannot be a word of my case and the due process of I am and have. Wow. The due process of I am, like she's God. She is the great I am. The due process of I am, and have been waiting very patiently and maintaining what I can since no one else has or will, it seems. And I feel at this point, 6 attorneys later, 9 now, baby. 6 attorneys later, 39 months, almost 3.5 years, almost 5 now, coming up on 5. Which I will make, and not by choice. I need to make all aware of my immense struggle with the extreme mismanagement of my case to date. Now, the judges don't have to read this shit. When the judge gets this, the one thing, all of this, again, this letter was written a year and a half ago. I just discovered it today. But when judges don't even read this, they just don't. What the judge does is the judge gets and goes, "Is it a motion? No, okay." Then the judge sends it out to the defense. They go, "Here, I got this letter." He's like, "Okay." He might read it if he wants to, but normally they just go, "All right, it's not a motion. She's not asking for anything, so all right." Send it off to the defense. Let him know we got the letter. Lancelot 652 with $5. She has the whole dictionary. She's damn well going to use it. Yep. She's got the whole thing. It feels good to read these letters again. Oof. Let's look at the bigger picture or perspective. Please see above definition to get a better view of what I've had more than enough time to see and realize. I'm hoping by doing so, eyes can finally be opened and very overdue, longed for progress and finalization can be had. The growing amass of ignorant ants. The growing amass. That's not what that's the wrong word, Sarah. It's just the growing mass of ignorance, manipulation, slander, and advantageous gain must stop. My truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. Do not give me rights expecting me not to fully utilize them. I voted for the president and governor while here in jail. And stop violating what I've been trying to utilize or lessen the value of my capabilities and opportunities. I am not apologetic in any way for being an observant, hardworking, above average, holy shit snacks, above average, non-stereotypical inmate. Wow. I can only imagine, sadly, how others not as outspoken as myself have been and are being mistreated, overlooked, and dehumanized. Get it together. Get it together, people. Wow. She's sticking with this I excel at everything I do. She's above average. Damn it. She said so. And ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 subscribers away from 81,000. Just 2 subscribers. Sweet. Cool. Cool beans. Judge Wayne C. Wooten, who is no longer on the case. At what point do you evaluate and intercede in a case to make sure there is proper advancement, regular communication between the attorney and client, ethical treatment of client? Boom, people, we just hit 81,000 subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. That is, oh my God. I love you people. We just hit a huge, major milestone for one reason and one reason only. And that's because you guys are so damn awesome. I was hoping against hope. I was hoping desperately that we would get to this 81,000 level by the end of the trial, possibly. The trial hasn't even started yet, and you guys got me there. Seriously. That deserves a super special sell. This is my toast to you, chat. The Vice Squad has been here with me from literally day one. Over the last 2.5 years, you guys have shown me amazing support. You're all my ride or die people. People come and go on the channel, but we have the core viewers, we have the new viewers, and hopefully you guys will stick around that are here. But I'm truly humbled every time we hit one of these major milestones. And I owe everything to you because this channel is for you. You're here for me, but I'm also here for you. I'm doing this for your entertainment and edification. And I love you guys. You guys are super awesome. Thank you so much. As Preston Nick says, you guys excel at everything you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I look forward to a huge effing party when we hit 100,000 subscribers. Cheers. Bless you guys. Oh, now we get to see. This is how Strawberry gets up on the chair, by the way. There we go. He just kind of crawls up under the arm. All right, there you go. Again, seriously, people, thank you so very much. Day drinking for all, says this is Flaming Dragon. I love you guys. You guys are super cool. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you for the congratulations, but thank you for getting me here. All right, let's not get mushy. Come on. Lorax. All right, let's not get mushy around here. Don't make me have feelings and shit. We've got Sarah Boone to talk about. All right, this is I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Judge Wayne C. Wooten. This is her requests and letter. This is the part of her letter directed at the judge, the former judge. Right here. Regular communication between the attorney and client. Ethical treatment of client is being upheld. Time frames are being met, etc. Clearly, you know of and have known of the prolongation of my difficulties from your comments regarding my letters, but with no intervention from you to change anything for a better, less problematic process. You've told me in the past when I've tried to voice my legitimate concerns to you in the courtroom 5 times total in 3.3 years, and in my letters to save it for my next attorney, if told anything at all. Okay, brownie points, bonus points to Judge Wooten. I never personally heard that, but I love that. I can just hear that her going, now I have these concerns, and the judge says, just save it for your next attorney. Save it for the next attorney. Oh no. Do tell, Your Honor, which attorney? I'm on my 6th, whom I've not seen in person for over another 3-month period. Oh no. It's almost like he has other cases, not just yours to work on, Sarah. 12 weeks, 89 days, and counting. Frank J. Bankowitz has been appointed as my attorney by the court to represent me in my case and has been for 10 months and counting. Total approximate hours of representation, 7,200. Total times attorney met with client, Sarah Boone. Yeah, we know who the fucking client is because you're writing the letter. 6. Oh my God, it's a whole laundry list. Oh, I love Sarah. Oh, damn. Phone numbers given to client by attorney, 2. Phone calls answered from client by attorney, 0. Outside sources calling attorney on behalf of client, 3. Phone calls, emails, voicemails answered by attorney, 0. Letters. We need to do this sort of like some sort of, I don't know, public service announcement thing or like public broadcasting, like tannoy system thing. Letters client sent to attorney trying to communicate, 7. Letters defendant client sent to judge trying to communicate. Animate attorney in unsuccessfulness. What? What does that even mean? Trying to animate attorney in unsuccessfulness. It's word salad. See, this is what I love is like when dumb people like try to act smart when they're like in court and the judge asks them like, did you see person A do X? Well, Your Honor, like I was looking at the ocular organs of the person's cranium, and that person responded in a telepathic means of unverbal communication wise, getting the ref a havriff with the rassification on everything, and Your Honor, that kind of that kind of dumb guy that's like wants to be smarter than everybody else. This is it. Trying unsuccessfully to get her attorney to do something. That's what she wants to say. I tried unsuccessfully to get my attorney to do something. But she has to say, trying to animate attorney in unsuccessfulness 5 times. I don't know. It just struck me as really funny. I've had a really stressful day, and that one phrase right there, I felt a wave of stress and tension flow from my body. Oh dear. Letters trying to communicate, animate attorney in unsuccessfulness, 5. 15-minute video visits between attorney and client, 3. Attended court date scheduled, 2. I was an attempted withdrawal. The other, an allowance to finally be included in my pre-trial conference, which was the same information carried over from all others. Now what? I'm not even going to try to parse what the F that last one meant, because there's more important questions, such as, why are you enabling my constitutional rights to be continuously violated? History lesson for everyone. Well, thank you. She's giving us the history lesson because, as we know, she addressed her letter up here in the left-hand corner to the whole wide world. The whole wide world gets to see this letter. She's gonna historically amplify our understanding of the historical situationness of the Lancelot, member for 3 months, says, who wouldn't want to represent this peach of a woman? I don't know. Everybody should want to. Doggy treats, says Bernadette loves pie. Oh, the doggies will get treats big time. Thank you very much. Oh, God, I love Sarah. I missed these letters. I'm so happy I found these letters. All right, let's let Sarah Boone historically presentationalistly advise us of our currentness of the situation futuristically. History lesson for everyone. First Amendment, First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Eighth Amendment, 14th Amendment. Well, thank you for the fucking history lesson, Sarah. That was incredibly edifying. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. Oh, dear. What in the world? Oh. Why am I being judged? Because you've been accused of a crime, I guess. I don't know. Why am I being judged for my legitimate letters I write in order to know this? Why have I revived? Since doing the dumb guy voice, I've resorted to my native Utah accent. Why? What point in the game did I do that? All right, time for my normal non-regional accent voice. Why am I being judged for my legitimate letters I write in order to know the status of my case or attorney, and how much longer before something substantial occurs in the progress of 3.3 years later, other than the inappropriate prejudgments being made due to the excessive amount of my case information online, bigger and meaner fabrications of my case sensitive details in which I have not seen, and even greater mind-numbing one-sided ignorance? The fuck does that even mean? Why am I being judged for my legitimate letters I write in order to know the status of my case? Got you there. I understand up to that point. And how much longer before something substantial occurs in the progress of 3.3 years later, other than the inappropriate prejudgments being made due to the excessive amounts of my case information on, I'm lost at this point. Bigger and meaner fabrications of my case, sensitive details in which I have not seen, and even greater mind-numbing one-sided ignorance. Yep, she lost me. I have no fucking clue what that sentence means. Turlet, that's right. We have turlets in Utah. Absolutely. We wash our clothes in the room next to the turlet. I have not seen, and even greater mind. Oh, sorry. Don't want to leap into the middle of that sentence. If I didn't write my letters, would you or anyone be aware of all my rightful concerns still and ongoing? Is a perpetual question mark over the defendant's head the norm during a case into inactivity? No communication, no help or intervention, or answers being given by anyone in the justice system? Well, Sarah, I hate to break this to you, but we currently have 653 people viewing who probably all have perpetual question marks over our heads about your case. So, fair enough. Honestly, what has been done about or with any of my letters other than being scanned or uploaded incorrectly? Well, there are people such as me that are finding amusement and laughing at them. So there is that. Doesn't really help your case, but it is happening, just so you know. I made sure to correct so everyone is up to speed on my case status. Unfortunately, it is all I have to report at this time. So true, Jeff says Stacy R. Question mark over her head. She's a quest giver NPC. Nice, Swamp Bear. That was good. A quest giver NPC. Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, manipulated? Why has a gag order never been implemented? Oh, I swear to God, I would love to. Half of me would love to throw a gag order on her, and the other half of me just wants her to keep talking. My case has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally in exchange for website hits. No. No. Sarah, no. Didn't happen. Case details being racketeered illegally in exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc. in exchange for dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. What is your cut, Your Honor? Oh, my Lord. She just accused the judge of bribery, getting a cut of money. Holy shitballs. Do not do that. If you are ever a defendant in a case, do not use words such as, what is your cut, Your Honor? Judges tend to not like that. Holy crap. Oh, my God. All right. Yoink. Wow. What is your cut, Your Honor? You choose who knows what, where, and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? Are you the one who authorizes the uploads to the internet? It's all about how much rather than how did it happen, no matter the destruction caused in the meantime and is irreparable. It's not even about the suitcase anymore. No, it's all about the suitcase. My case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3 million hits. Oh, I guarantee it's been a lot more than 3 million, baby. A lot more. Depending on the website, in turn, making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory, fair jurors. I will have access to my case. She means that will have access to my case. How is that going to work? Now, no, it doesn't mean that at all, Sarah. It means that even if your potential jurors have seen the video, that does not mean that they cannot sit in judgment of you. If they are able to say, yes, I saw it, but I'm willing to consider the evidence that's presented in court to set any prejudices or prejudgments I have aside and base my decision only on the law and the evidence presented in court, even if they've seen the video, the chances are incredibly high they're going to be able to still sit in judgment of your ass. Now what? We're setting the jury now, baby, so we're going to trial. That's what. Factoring important private details should not be made ready and available for the world. She means readily available, not ready and available for the world. But she's smart. She knows. Yeah, anyway, to know about before the defendant does. Correct. This is wrong, unconstitutional, unfair, and not how justice is supposed to work for anyone. I'm tired of having motives attributed to me that are unreal, assumed, and inappropriate. This is not legal. Point 6. This is what a trial is for, correct? Point 7. Wow, that was a short point, wasn't it? At this point, what can even be rightfully suppressed in my case? Once you ring the bell, it cannot be unrung. Yes. Once you bash your boyfriend's fingers with a baseball bat, they cannot be unbashed. It's already been heard and seen. I don't even know where the bell is or who is ringing it. It's you. You're ringing it, Sarah. Because when you write these letters saying this shit, it gets sent into the court and it becomes public document. We can all look at it. You are ringing your own bell. When I do, the main component in my case actually get to know, see, hear everything everyone else already has. When am I going to be included also? When is my next status hearing? You stated would happen before my pretrial conference, 7/11/23. My attorney's 1 year mark. Am I included? What else can I do to ensure the productivity, communication, incorruptibility, appropriation, and intellectualism of my case? What? What can I do to ensure the productivity, communication, incorruptibility, appropriation, and intellectualism of my case? It is my right to know so I can begin or continue for true progress of any kind to finally be succeeded. Again, that word doesn't mean what you think it means. Attorney Frank Bankowitz. Oh, she's done with the judge. Now she's going to let her attorney have it. Where are you? Where are you? Our last in person was February 15th, 2023, 3 months. When is our next meeting? Remember, please, there are still time-sensitive matters pressing. FYI, in the 10 months of your representation, here are the 6 meeting dates which have occurred so you can see prospectively the massive time gaps in between while I have been sitting eagerly waiting, wondering. Here's the dates. Oh, Lord. Oh, this whole thing is underlined, so I won't shout the whole thing. Why aren't you fixing either of the 2 phone numbers you gave me upon your appointment back in July 11, 2022? Every time I ask you about it's a different excuse. Much progress can be had in a very expeditious manner if completed. Why has it not almost a year later? Why do you keep telling me to call when you know they don't work? As said before, public defenders answer their calls. Secret. No, they don't. A lot of times they don't because they have to pay for them. They'll call you back. Public defenders answer their calls and reply to mail. Why are you unable or unwilling? See the difference it will make? Our agreement made from one of my letters I wrote earlier this year after not hearing from you is a solid 5 months prior was to connect every 2 weeks with or without any significant progress. Why have you not been upholding this agreement, even in a 15-minute video visit? Remember, a phone call is another option and not as difficult technologically. A working number is needed, just one. Why are your anticipated dates of completion for anything already discussed and will eventually when you do actually show up for an in-person scheduled meeting? Don't know what that means. There are 1,000 little fires needing to be put out. You're holding the fire hose. Okay. Yeah, right. The lawyer gave her a fake phone number. Yeah, he's like the guy in the bar. Yeah, here, call me on this number. Wink, wink. I promise you, this is my number, Sarah. Please see from my perspective the botched eye-rolling experience I am going through still, and how I believe anyone would act or do if in my slides doing the same. Look at that. My slides. She's picking up the prison lingo. Look at her. She's got slides. She's got slides. And oh no, Sarah. Sarah, you blue-eyed white devil, picking up on that prison slang. I believe anyone would act or do if in my slides doing the same. What would you do? Do not fault me in trying to make the best, most successful outcome possible for myself in every aspect in the convoluted predicament. Yeah. Well, see, now that triggers my Utah voice again. Anytime you say the word predicament, that sort of takes me back to cowboys. Like you parlay to find your way out of a particular predicament you find yourself in. In the aspect of the convoluted predicament I'm in. And I've been over the last 3.3 years. I'd rather be called a narcissist, pain in the ass, arrogant, stranger, whatever else. Well, okay, all of those. D, all of the above. Anyone else wants to waste their time to think of, just don't call me a murderer, which I am not. No one knows me except for the ludicrous insanity that's been made up, mocked, edited, and spewed all over the internet. It's not me. It's not me, babe. It ain't me. No, no, no. I'm hoping and praying my highly anticipated day will come. Oh, baby, it has been highly anticipated for 4 effing years. And it is underway right now as we speak. Jury is being chosen. It's God's timing. I continue to wait, smiling. At least everyone will know I'm not sitting around eating bonbons, watching soap operas. It's 2024. Who says bonbons? The 80s want their vocabulary back. Application is the product of the lesson. Give me my chance appropriately, correctly, and fairly in court. Unfortunately, my perspective of our justice system is incredibly dim and dull. I hope my overdue blinding light has shone brightly for all to see a glimpse of how it really works. And being a system, we all have to work together to function in unison. Please help see the difference I'm trying to be and make. Waiting and wondering, keeping it real. Now what? Sarah Boone. Oh, people. Oh, people, oh my Lord, we have one more email to read, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to save that for possibly tomorrow. I think I've done everything I can do with Sarah Boone except for read this one last letter. This trial needs to get going right now, like right now. Where's the dog? There you are. Because we have beat this Sarah Boone thing to death. But hey, maybe something else will pop up tomorrow. Like I said, they're doing jury selection today. The judge is going to decide what the schedule is moving forward at some point today. So I should know by the time I wake up in the morning how they're going to handle stuff, and I'll let you guys know. But we'll do something here tomorrow. Bridget, member for 14 months. Sarah won't win. But what would you be looking for in a juror for her side? I honestly have no idea. Oh God, that's a really good question. Women would probably hate her. Men, I have no idea. I would settle for someone who just promises to be open-minded at this point, I guess. Wow. Legal Vices, Bronco rule number 1 in the court: don't piss off the judge. That is a solid position to take. She is enjoying the attention of this mess. Shake my head. Well, she'll have a good portion of the remainder of her life to enjoy it, I guess. Can they use this letter against her at trial? She didn't really say anything. It doesn't really have evidentiary value. She doesn't, there's nothing that she hasn't said somewhere else. But excuse me, forgot to hit the mute button. Just kind of scrolling through your comments here that I have here. Wonder if she will write more when she's convicted. Oh, I hope she writes a book. We would read that sucker from beginning to damn end right here on this stream. I could sit there, consider the evidence, then find her guilty. Well, you have to consider it fairly. Let's see. Just kind of scrolling through. Succeeded. What comes after her? Exactly. I'll be driving in a minute. Well, Bernice, I hope you're driving safely. What? Jill M's YouTube is asshole kicked me out, and they've been trying to get back in the last 10 minutes. Occasionally it'll refresh my screen for me, even if I don't want it to. Jeff, would you be her lawyer? Yeah, I would be the Owens type guy. If I could afford to take a chunk out of my time and represent her. I firmly believe everybody's entitled to a vigorous defense. Her lawyer's doing an admirable job. I mean, it's not going to help, but but he's doing a good job. Absolutely. If I was asked to represent her, if I was appointed to be her, I would, until she got pissed with me and booted me off the case, or we had reached an impasse, which would probably happen. But yeah, I have nothing in principle against representing her. Jeff sounds like that cowboy in the Kamala Harris ad, just without the list. Well, being here in Korea, guess what? We don't get Kamala Harris ads, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Thankfully, I get no political ads whatsoever here. I love it. Blinded by the Light. What a great song. What about she complains about the jury selection? Oh, I'm sure, but we don't have to hear it. One, we don't have to hear it, and two, we don't get to hear it. Yoda just looks like a perfectly toasted little love marshmallow. Oh, what did MG Law say? MG Law said something here a while ago. Sarah was someone who doesn't have a lot of baggage. Did you see the interview with one of her old attorneys? And I think the new attorney that recently aired, well, I saw the one with her new attorney. One of the videos I have for some other time is one of them is from Court TV about why, what is it? One of the videos is the history, the Sarah Boone and George Torres domestic violence history. And the other one is Sarah's ex-attorney joins Court TV and says it was unusual to represent Sarah Boone. that's one of the things from 2 weeks ago that I have yet to watch. I was going to watch that. We'll probably watch it tomorrow. So yeah, eventually I'll get. I saw it. I've just seen it. And I haven't watched it yet. Legal Vice says, when is the next F Friday? And the Temu box is sitting on my counter. The next F Friday I am targeting the last Friday of the month, which is what? The 25th. All right, people. Let's see. That's it. Sarah Boone unburdened by what has been. I will check to see what the judge decides as far as scheduling goes, and I will adjust my schedule accordingly. To be Flair, how are you doing? Good gosh, it's been a minute. Sarah's snuff films recording of the incident and her words are going to bury her. Yep. I'm just here to watch the shit show. Yep. Unusual. Sounds like they need to borrow Sarah's thesaurus. Thank you. Thank you very much. Law, news, and laughter with Aussie Overload. Thank you very much. Yep, this weekend I will be having it. Well, if it doesn't rain. It's supposed to rain, and I'm just done camping in the rain for a while. Right. I think that's all. Let's see where we can send you off to. Just hang tight. Okay, let's see how we ended up. You guys got me to 81,000 subscribers today, for which I am ridiculous and eternally grateful. And currently we are sitting at 81,001. Woohoo! We didn't go back under. So, gosh, that is so cool. You guys, seriously, again, from the bottom of my crusty, old, cold, shriveled up, 3 sizes too small heart. I love you guys. You're great. Thank you so much for subscribing, and keep that subscribers alive. We are now 18,999 away from the play button. Oh, let me see where we can send you. Let me see where we can send you off to. Probably. Well, I don't want to. Let's see. I'm looking. Bear with me here. We'll send you somewhere fun and exciting. Customization. Oh, good morning, Yoda. Good to see you up and about. How you doing? Oh, you're just gonna wander off to stand in front of the window. Just lay down there on the nice, cool veranda floor. So we will uncamera the dogs, and it'll just be me and you. So let's see. I don't know what we're doing here. Let me see. Right. Well, I'm just going to send you off out into the wild and let you all find some place to go, shall we? Don't know where to send you exactly today. All right, that's it. We're just going to shut it down and find out wherever it is you need to go, because I will be here tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Legal Vices with our new 81,000 plus army for whatever happens in the Sarah Boone trial. Thank you so much for keeping us alive. Thank you, mods, for being here and doing moddy stuff. Chat, thank you for getting us up over 81,000 subscribers. Thank you for the super chats, the memberships, the gifted memberships, the purchase memberships, and everything that got us to day 34 of unlocking the emotional support potato pig dog cam. Guys, you are among the most awesomest people ever. Why? Because you're part of the Vice Squad. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow for more of whatever. Bye. You guys rock. Peace out.